for what is the price going to be? Like, what's the maximum price of XRP? And that's a very good question. It is a very good question because, you know, people think the maximum rally is going to be $200. But $200, this rally is going to be pretty hard. But $7, I mean, at its best, it could very well happen.
All right, folks, grab your coffee, grab your XRP family merch, and lock in, because we're talking about XRP rate cut rally. It is already
the rate cuts in September, I feel like they're 100% set in stone. But we really have to consider how much will they pump the crypto markets. And I'm feeling like 10, 20%. It's not going to be super big, but it's definitely going to help. And how much is the rate cut going to be? Because again, the bigger the rate cut, the bigger the slice of the knife, basically, the bigger we get a rally, which would be nice. I would definitely like to see 20% extra in the crypto markets. Again, when you say 20%, this basically means that XRP could be reaching to $4. These rate cuts could, I feel like these rate cuts are the most needed thing for XRP to reach $4.
Way the inflows are
when everyone is ready. I feel like XRP also has news that they're not telling us about, right? So there could be news that nobody's telling us about that is already set in plan. They wanna convince us. They even needed, you know, time to reveal that the SEC lawsuit is over.
Just getting started. And we also have the SEC and Ripple both about to drop their appeals this month as well. All of it's going to be fueling this rally for XRP that's underway. Let's get right on into the update. Everything's at zachrector.com. Greatly appreciate your support. Check it out. The Fed's daily on the July Fed decision. He says he was willing to wait another cycle, but we can't wait forever. So we have Daly, we have Waller, both now coming out and saying that it's time to switch up. We have one Fed board governor that's actually resigning early. They've only been serving since.
So yeah, a lot of people against crypto now, they are slowly converting. Can you guys see it? As soon as the prices go up, it took years, but now a lot of people, you know, from this bad thing about crypto have slowly converted about how good it is and how they want to incorporate it and how many banks are using it and how XRP is going to save everything. So that's actually good news. Again, this means crypto has a good reputation.
September, but they're out of there. And so it's getting a little shaky at the Fed, and the market's starting to price it in right now. Check it out. September rate cut odds surged to 90%. Goldman Sachs says that we expect the FOMC to deliver 3 consecutive 25 basis point cuts starting in September.
So that we would get small big base cuts. It means that the economy is looking very good, right? Goldman Sachs correctly predicted there's not going to be any change. But again, guys, I can't tell you how bullish this is for the crypto markets. This is literally 3 waves of rallies before we settle down. So that's all part of the plan.
Now, this would take our effective fund rate back down to about 4.5 to 4.75, I believe, is where we would be at. Because I think we're at 5.25 to 5.50. So if we come down about 75 basis points, we would be at 4.5 to 4.75 on your effective Fed funds rate. Now, what's underway, though, and what the market's going to do, starting to price in these rate cuts with a pump and an expectation of those Fed rate cuts, is going to make our market excited once again. Now, the date on which the Fed will be meeting will be September 16th and 17th. 17th is when we'll get that interest rate decision. And so we'll slide over here to my XRP price chart, and I've now added another vertical line right here on September 17th so that we can start to watch this one on our time.
So yeah, look at this. The price rally goes from $4, then it could be another one to $7 and $15. Now the $15, I don't feel like, you know, a lot of people are calling for $15 rally. That is a lot of money when you consider it, and I don't think it's going to be happening now, but it could happen in the future, and I'm still going to be there. But, you know, Powell cutting the rate, 3.25 cuts, and usually they're correct. 0.25 basis points, again, 3 times is 0.75 basis. It's like 75 basis points. That is as much as you can cut without causing recession. And that is basically enabling a full rally. 138%. Again, to go from $3 to $7 is 1.38%. XRP just gained a 3x in the last few weeks, or maybe like 2 to 5 months, last 7 months. It gained 300%. So can it get another 100% to get to $7? Now, that is the question. And you gotta, guys, ask yourself. People said it will never reach $1. So what's stopping it from reaching $7 if it already almost reached $4? It kind of makes sense, right? This is bullish news. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys, that is happening live as we speak.
Time frame as well. Now you see here XRP back above $3 with strength. We're at 307 right now, and it's looking fantastic. We only have 30% to go. Let me just zoom in real quick. Only 30% to go to get up into my price target.
So 30% to $4, I think that's set in stone, right? I think we can all agree that this is going to happen.
Of $4 to $5, and I have it by August 12th. There's a reason why I drug out that I wanted to give myself a few days grace. And so we're looking at by August 12th is when I have my target set for a $4 to $5 XRP. We got faked out. We ran up here to 366, came back down. Everybody got scared. Oh, Zach, we're going to miss your purple box. No, we're not. We're still right on track, and we're only 30% away. We could do that in 2 days with ease back here on the XRP price chart. Zoom out, and you'll see that we're still right on track for my $7 to $15 target by August 23rd and September 7th is that window of opportunity. So by September 7th, I'm still hanging on to a $7 to $15 XRP. Where's the money going to come from?
Nice.
Well, let me show you where money's flowing right now. No XRP spot.
So yeah, it seems like that all the money right now is on ETFs, but soon could rally to XRP. Again, this is how it works. First, it rallies into Bitcoin, then it rallies into Ethereum ETFs. Ethereum ETF is the hype now. And again, this can't go on forever. And massive props to Ethereum because it's been an absolute hurtful journey, right? So $15 by September is going to be kind of hard, right? But, maybe $7 is not $7 in next year, in 1 year, is not too crazy. So yeah, this rally is just going to push it to 5. I feel like there's going to be some resistance at $4 for sure.
ETFs available, so the money's flowing into Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah, 5.89
Matt Hoogan, who
awesome.
is the chief investment officer of Bitwise, says Ethereum.
People have been calling for $5.89 for centuries now. And if we see that, that would definitely be a bullish bump.
ETFs pulled in $5.4 billion in July. When you consider Ethereum is 20% the size of Bitcoin, the scale of those flows really hits home. Imagine if Bitcoin ETFs did $27 billion in a month. And,
So wait for XRP ETFs. This is just a part of volume. We are still waiting for the XRP ETFs to come by. So that's what I'm really hyped for. We still haven't seen the full potential unlock. Again, this is why I'm hyped. We're still in this risk early stages of crypto.
Said, and I'm just thinking to myself, well, just imagine XRP ETFs see that $5 billion that the Ethereum ETFs are seeing. You're going to see.
But yeah, I feel like this is going to be September is really going to kick us off our feet because we have been asking for an XRP ETF, and the billionaire or millionaire manager of the XRP ETFs who has applied for it has seen they have never seen such a response, to get it accepted. Never, ever have they seen such a response. And this is, to me, is crazy. So the XRP army is going to eat it up alive. the XRP ETFs.
A much better ROI on XRP1, and two, that percentage gain that's coming for XRP based off those conservative inflows is going to be dramatic. Now, are the Bitcoin ETFs going to see 27 billion in a month? They haven't yet that I'm aware of, and I don't think that they're going to. Now, the inflows have been pretty good.
Again, why do the ETFs help? Because one, institutions can buy it and sell it easily. You can just put it on the market. And secondly, a lot of people do not know how to buy XRP, especially, the older generation, the younger generation. Maybe they don't know how to use crypto exchanges. Maybe they barely know how to open a bank and the bank does for them. This will enable them to click a button in the bank and bam, they have bought XRP. If you tell your old parents, hey, you want to buy some XRP, they can literally go to the bank and get some, right? But if you do it now, you have to set up this exchange. You have to finish all this stuff, documents. You don't know if the exchange is going to go down and under and is not going to exist in 20 years. But with banks, this is where the real trust comes in. This is when everything becomes really official with these ETFs. And that's why people are staying here.
Took Bitcoin to a new all-time high. Fantastic. Ethereum ETFs have been live for a year. They've seen some, billions of inflows so far, just 5.4 billion in July alone. The largest inflow month for Ethereum by far, still didn't hit a new all-time high. That's a problem. But if you talk about 5 billion coming into XRP, well, I just went on over to Google. We've been doing our market cap multiplier, and I've been trying to make this simple for everybody to understand. But if we just put a 50x multiplier on that 5 billion. So for example, if the ETFs go live for XRP in September or October, and we were to see 5 billion of net inflows into XRP, just staying conservative with the 50x multiplier, not the 472x multiplier that I showed you this morning, not the 1,250x multiplier that we showed you over.
I mean, 1,000 would be nice, but again, I don't think it's going to happen this rally, as I said. My 60-year-old coworker asked me how to buy XRP just last week. The ultimate indicator of bull run is incoming. Exactly. Like, XRP is now more talk than Bitcoin. It is insane.
For a 12-hour period during the weekend, just a 50x. Not a 500, a 50x multiplier on that. It would equate to XRP's market cap growing by 250.
So 50x for XRP is going to be $150, which means 250 billion. What is like Bitcoin? I got to check. Bitcoin isn't like a trillion. So Bitcoin's market cap is 2.2 trillion. That is insane. So I feel like that's a realized market cap because the market cap for XRP is 181 billion right now. So if we want to see if it would reach same prices as Bitcoin, XRP, or same prices as Ethereum, it would go to like to $6-7. So yeah, it can definitely happen. Crypto is doing good.
Billion. 250 billion. Okay, so we'll head on over here to the XRP market cap chart, and I'll show you what that would do for XRP and XRP price-wise. So on the market cap, if we add 250 billion to XRP's market cap, you're up about 138% in price, and you'd be at a market cap of about 433 billion. We're just rounding off the numbers, keeping our math simple. Now, what's interesting is that this perfectly aligns with the percentage growth that we would need to see for a $7 XRP. Ain't that something? So from today's price, 138% gain.
So just know that it's not going to be super easy to get to $7 XRP. It was a struggle to get to $3.7, but it is a nice head start. It is like a nice goal to reach. I feel like we got to reach $4, $5 first. And after that is done, you can really see the patterns moving. But again, this is the ultimate goal, right? Is to go to $7. But to get to $7, you got to first get to $4, $5.
Would take us to a $7 XRP. Once again, back to the XRP market cap chart. If we see 138% growth, 252 billion in XRP's market cap, that's all lined up. And we're talking.
So 220 from 20 billion. I don't know if his math was right, but a 25 basis point cut is not impacting anything. People aren't going to run out and buy a home with a mortgage with only 25 basis point cut. What's a 30-year now at 6.75? But you got to consider 3 basis point cuts. Some people have been waiting to buy for a long time. So that's going to be really changing the game.
$7 XRP. Once again, back to the XRP market cap chart. If we see 138% growth, 252 billion in XRP's market cap, that's all lined up. And we're talking about staying conservative, only 5 billion of inflows, which is what the Ethereum ETFs pulled in July alone.
Okay, so he's talking about the inflows. He's talking about Ethereum ETF pulled in 5.4 billion. So this is just inflows. What he forgot to mention is also the outflows. So when there's a lot of inflows, there's also sales, right? So yeah, if nobody sold their XRP, we would be seeing these prices. But you got to consider there's going to be some people also selling. So yeah, there is gonna be some, roadblocks ahead before we reach, $7. It's not gonna like moonshot, because I feel like some people will sell at $5, $6. Keep that in mind.
And this is why I say, give me a year, up to a year after those ETFs go live, and I'm
So the ETFs I feel like will go live September, October, just as predicted.
hanging my hat on a $20 to $30 XRP based off these inflows and what we're going to see coming conservatively. Yeah, it's a $20 to $30 XRP, and it very well could be more. And we're not done yet. One of the other things that's going to fuel this XRP rally and the inflows coming in is when retail finally realizes, oh, gee, the XRP Ripple case is finally over, and it's going to come.
So they have to announce that. I feel like it's already over, but they haven't been speaking much about it. I feel like my gut feeling is there's something happening behind closed doors, and we don't know about it. Could be literally anything.
Most likely this month. This is Mark Fagel, who used to work at the SEC. So don't take it from me.
So Ripple has not yet dropped its cross appeal. There is a standard process the SEC must follow to approve this. It can take several months. So just regulation. No foot dragging, just legal requirements. It will happen soon. Judge Torres no longer has anything to do with this case. See, so it is literally just regulation.
Who used to work at the SEC. So don't take it from me. I'm just an XRP hopium guy, a YouTuber that does nothing but shills XRP hype because we believe in it. We have fundamentals, real analysis, and data to back it up. And yes, we do get hyped about XRP, but please don't listen to me. Let's listen to an SEC lawyer who has to cross every T and dot every I and make sure that everything's straight. What does he have to say? Ripple has not yet dropped its cross appeal. There is a standard process the SEC.
So yeah, as I said, guys, this is just regulation in place, and once that is over, there could be things underway that they have to sign, they have to approve. Maybe it's because offices are out of order. Could be tons of things that we don't even understand yet that really change it. But yeah, a lawyer has confirmed this, which is absolutely insane. But here's the thing, this is the big hype that people were waiting for. I feel like 90% is already priced in since the SEC case won the lawsuit. They're just gonna finalize it. I feel like it's gonna be a smaller rally, but it's not gonna be the big rally we have seen before.
It's coming now. Judge Torres no longer has anything to do with this case. This is in the appeals court. And so the next date in this case that I'm hearing right now is August 15th. And so, what are the odds that we see here an SEC Ripple both dropping their appeals officially? The case is officially over. We can shout it far and wide because nobody wants to listen to me when I say that the case is over now. Our community has PTSD, and I don't like to use that term with all due respect to real people who had PTSD, but you get my point. Our community.
So guys, listen very carefully. August 15th is just a rumor, but I will still be streaming it on my channel because August 15th is when we are really expecting the Ripple SEC case, at least some news, at least some updates. We haven't been hearing much. But yeah, everything just changed for XRP. Let's check some price analysis right now.